Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a really practical Power BI tutorial lined up for you. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly how to create scatter, bubble, and dot plots in Power BI, and more importantly, understand when to use each one for your own data analysis projects. If you've ever wanted to visualize relationships, compare distributions, or add that extra layer of clarity to your reports, you're in the perfect place. Let's get started by setting up a sample data table directly inside Power BI. This is a great feature because you can either enter your own data on the fly or just use this for practice. In Power BI, you'll head over to Enter Data. You might be adding columns for things like employees, sales, profit, and customers. Think of it like making a mini spreadsheet right inside your report. Don't rush this part. Make sure your sample dataset makes sense, because the quality of your visuals depends heavily on having good representative data. Now let's dive into creating our first plot, the scatter plot. Make sure you're in Report View, then look over at the Visualizations pane. It's that little selection of graphs and icons on the right. Go ahead and select the scatter chart visual. This is where the magic starts happening. In the Fields area, you'll want to set your x-axis to Sales, your y-axis to Profit, and pop Employee into the Details section. If you happen to have different regions or departments, you can also use the Legend field by dragging region in. What happens here is really cool. Each dot you see now represents an individual employee, position where their sales and profit intersect. If you've ever plotted store performance or sales reps like this, you'll know right away how effective it is for finding patterns or outliers in your team. Next, let's bump things up with a bubble plot. This is basically a scatter plot, but with a third dimension. To do this, start with the scatter chart you just made and grab your customer's field, drag that into the size box. Instantly, your dots transform into bubbles, with the size of each bubble reflecting how many customers each employee has handled. This visual cue makes it so much easier to compare more than just two attributes at once. For example, you might spot an employee who's handling many customers but with lower profit. Those kinds of insights just pop right out at you with a bubble plot. Now, what if you want a dot plot? Power BI doesn't have a straightforward dot plot by default, but don't worry, you can easily simulate one. The quick method is to use a clustered bar or column chart. Select one of these charts, set employee as your axis and sales as your value. Here, the trick: go into the format options and shrink down the bar thickness until your bars look more like dots. If you want to get a bit fancier, you can add profit to the tooltip so that when you hover over a dot, more context appears. Alternatively, for a true dot plot, Power BI lets you broaden your toolset. Go to the Visualizations section, choose Get More Visuals, and search for a custom dot plot visual in App Source. After you import it, simply drag employee into axis and sales into values and you're good to go. Let's pause for just a second and talk about the kind of insights you'll unlock with these visuals. With a scatter plot, you can easily check if there's a correlation. Maybe higher sales drive higher profits, or maybe not. Bubble plots take it further, letting you factor in things like customer load. Dot plots, on the other hand, are excellent for comparing how sales are distributed across your team in a really simple, clean way. Alright, so now you know how to build scatter charts, upgrade them to bubble plots, and create dot plots using both built-in and custom options. Don't forget, you can always use your sample table to experiment until you feel comfortable, and no worries if your first few attempts look a bit off. It gets easier with practice. If you found this tutorial helpful, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you have any questions or want to share how you plan to use these visuals in your own projects, let me know in the comments. And of course, don't forget to hit subscribe for more Power BI tutorials just like this. Thanks for watching and happy visualizing.